All right, so welcome back. This is Power Breakfast here on Citizen TV. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to have a conversation about what it looks like to take business across continents. Of course, this is all ahead of the Latin America, Caribbean and Africa Business Summit taking place later on this month. I've got two guests in studio to help me talk about what investing looks like in Kenya and abroad. Sitting next to me is Edgar Ramirez, who is an agribusiness expert. Welcome to this show. And next to him is Nerea Musita, the director of the LACC Business Summit taking place this month. So thank you both for being here.
Thanks for having
me. Just want to start with a little bit of background. Edgar, maybe you can just tell us what it means to be an agribusiness expert.
Yes, in fact, I am agriculture expert. I represent an Argentina Association of No-Till Farmers. We work with its system. We want to reduce the damage to the environment. In Argentina, we have working that way from 30 years more or less, and now we can show to other places like Kenya how we work and how we produce.
And how long have you been in Kenya?
Just 3-4 days,
okay,
just for the summit.
You're still getting acclimated.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Nerea, before we get to the particulars of the summit, maybe we can just talk a little bit about what the climate is like for business owners in Kenya for investment. What is the situation right now?
Well, from my experience and because as an international consultant, I deal with a lot of international clients and looking for possible joint venture projects within Kenya. We've got a lot of business people small businesses that want to move up to the next level. However, they've never been given that opportunity, or an opportunity like that may come too expensive for them. However, it's not that, but they want to expand and they want to create more knowledge and create jobs within their areas. And so, opportunity for business, there's a hunger for it within our country, and that's something I laud, and that's something which I understand. So that's why I always put myself in the forefront in helping our small business community get to that level. Yeah.
All right. Now, they say Kenya is fertile ground for investment, and there are several reasons behind this. Maybe we can start by talking about how, it's one of the most advanced economies in East and Central Africa. So maybe you can talk about how it is that we position ourselves in this region to stand out to investors.
Well, what I can say about the Kenyan folk, we are quite astute. And generally, the hunger in us makes us go for what we want. And we're quite competitive. So with that competitive attitude, it kind of puts us in the forefront of other countries across Africa, being the economic hub. And I believe when, well, obviously from our colonization, it kind of helped being under the British rule, which kind of moved us ahead from other different countries or our surrounding neighbors. And we've taken that and ran with it. Well, of course, the good and the bad that come with it. So we also do not like to fall behind. We like to be considered still at the forefront, no matter our setbacks, and that's what keeps us going. Our urge for learning starts at a very young age, and it's been opening up more so. Finally, you look at the current generation, their teenagehood and their early 20s know a lot more than we did generations ago at that time, and that's a plus for us and the education system that we have in place. Yeah.
Edgar, you've only been here a couple days, but maybe you can talk about what is it that interested you in being involved with the summit, and also just being involved and interested in Kenya as potential for investment.
First, I want to thank you to the summit for inviting us. And to let us show how to work. Argentina plants more or less 35 million hectares. We produce about 100 million tons of grains. We can feed about 10 Argentinas in population.
Wow.
And so in Argentina, think that this area of Africa has the potential, so we want to to share our knowledge, and perhaps we can work together in different ways. We are sure that our technology we can try to work here in the region. So the summit, we think that it's an important place to show this.
And of course we have a lot to learn from Argentina and from your experience as well. Of course we have to talk about the fact that our positioning here in Kenya, we have international connectivity to the region by sea, through JKIA, by railway. So we are actually positioned to do a lot more than we currently are doing in terms of connecting with other continents.
And especially with the corridors being set up now.
Exactly. But in terms of licensing requirements, regulations from the government, is Kenya an easy place to do business? Is it encouraging?
I think our government is realizing what needs to be done to encourage investors to come in. For example, the new setup of the special economic zone, where it gives incentives to investors to come and set up factories, etc. down here. They've made it easy, a lot easier now through Can Invest, and they're trying to make it registrations, licenses more flexible and a shorter time period than it used to be in the past, and it is now. It's improving. We haven't gotten there yet, but we're getting there, and so they realize the importance of it for our investors, current and future.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that local business people are facing? Like you said, there is a hunger to grow businesses and to get these networks internationally. But what are some of the challenges facing local businesses in Kenya?
A lot of the challenges facing local businesses is finance. Access to technology, although we are very creative people. We can't deny that. Access to finance. You've got our banking system is still, it's a work in progress, and it keeps changing up and down. For small businesses, you can have these small microfinances that say they're here to help small businesses. However, the terms and conditions are on a ridiculous level that these small businesses cannot access, right? The small businesses, if you look at the business plan, you have to have somebody with an open mind, looking at the current business plan and seeing how would it happen in the future. Yeah, is this going to create jobs? Is this something that can work? We also have to be open-minded to risk-taking in order for us to help small businesses grow. So our major block is financial access, and there's this thing within Kenya about trust. Yeah, so you'll have the number of people who've got finances holding on to their money and not actually letting it go round, which can help small businesses grow, help other people access it so they can also grow their businesses. And we need to get out of that mindset. We need to be a lot more open. For example, if you see even in the US, you may have some people with bad credit. However, their financial institutions will still give them some credit of sorts in order to help them grow so they can start paying back their bad credit. How do you expect people who have bad credit to be able to pay back if you're not going to help them open up that avenue so they can pay back their credit?
Right.
So that's what we need to do within this country, and it's not quite there yet.
Well, ideally, when we're talking about connecting various continents together through trade, we're talking it goes both ways. So, Edgar, maybe you can tell us, are there opportunities for Kenyans who want to invest in the agriculture business in Argentina?
Yes, why not? Listen to her. I am thinking, because we are working with the sustainable reforms, and we think that economic is one, social is the second, and the environmental is the third, but the three ways they must work together, because in Argentina now we think that the soil is the more important thing in the world for all of us. If the soil works, we can have rentability, opportunities, more crops and food and so on. In that way, we work protecting the soil, and I think that with our industry, because in Argentina, our association and the government, we are not the government association, but the government and with us work many years ago to find this way of production. So a lot of machinery companies join us, and now we can export this machinery to another countries, for instance Kenya or the region.
Other countries as well.
And in the same way, I think that East Africa or Kenya can receive the invest of our companies, or vice versa.
Nura, talk to us about the LACC Summit. The idea that Latin America, Caribbean and Africa can work together in business and investment. How did you come up with that idea?
Well, you kind of get, you look at the stigmas the West has put on both regions. And what comes out during the international news is a lot of negativity on both sides. And when you approach people from both continents, they'll both say something negative, what they've seen on the news, but they don't look at the aspects of business or something better to help each other. And when you look at both continents, we're quite similar in many ways, even culturally, and in our trade aspects. We can exchange technology and knowledge in order to build our economic growth for both regions. For example, how people would say, oh, there's no direct flight, it's too far away. Of course there's no direct flight. You haven't even thought about trading properly, you know. So we open up those trade blocks. We open up the trade and investment from here to there and there to here. We'll open up lines for airlines to go direct. You know, it opens up a lot of opportunities, and this is something where we keep trading with the West. We keep asking the West for money, where both of us actually do not need. We don't need that. We have resources on both in both our regions that we can use and take advantage of, as well as be able to trade with South America and the Caribbean, and we can we can grow rapidly economically. And that's what we need to focus on: open up new markets, new ideas, and exchange of knowledge. That's what I was looking at when I initiated this project.
Yeah. So what are some of the tangible results that someone can expect if they are wanting to attend this summit, to know more about their investment options? And perhaps you can talk about specific sectors as well in Kenya that you feel are ripe for trade right now. Okay,
for example, agriculture. We've got Apresid here. They have over 3,000 farmer members. They've got agricultural machinery. They will work with institutions, universities, to do joint ventures and partnerships, including associations like Cereal Board, Fresh Producers Exporters Association of Kenya, in order to work together to build the agricultural industry in that regard. So for him being here, he wants to see what deals he can sign with the necessary institutions so they can start working together. The same goes for, we don't have commercial attaches as Kenya in South America or in the Caribbean. We can work with honorary consuls, we can put commercial attaches, we can focus a lot more in that area instead of just having an embassy where people do the usual diplomatic talks, and that's not really helping us gain anything as a country.
Yeah.
That's just one example. We've got, sorry, that's two examples. We've got tourism. Yeah. Both our regions are excellent, have excellent facilities. We can learn to work with the HoReCa system better customer management, technology, service providers. We can exchange ideas. We can see how to build our tourism aspect, you know, and so with that, finance, we can see how to be more flexible. They have a lot of flexibility for their people. We can learn from that, see would it work for us. You know, we can't really copy and paste, but we can do something that can help us. Yeah, help us get to where we need to go. right? ICT, we're pretty good at ICT as a country, and there's a lot of stuff we have here which we can share with them and help them put that in place in South America and the Caribbean. So those are just a few of the examples, and the people the international panelists, speakers, and companies that are coming, that's what they want. They want people they can work with, people they can continue trading, and this is just not a one-time thing. This is something you want to have continuously, because we'll have trade missions back and forth the whole of 2017, have the next summit. It's just going to be going on and on, focusing on the 8 sectors that we're working on. Yes.
Okay. Edgar, maybe you can give us some final comments to Kenyans watching who might have interest in the field of agriculture, would like to maybe hear you speak on these matters during the summit. Some final comments.
Yes, and I agree with her. I think that is a process. The process is a will keep it moving. I think that our technology, we can copy and paste, like you said. We have to adjust at the situation, at the fields, at the known of the people, and I think that the potential is very big. My first time in Kenya was in 2000, like a tourist. I love the country, the people. I think that we can work together. Argentina is looking Africa and in the way that we can work together.
Yeah, absolutely. Nora, maybe you can give us some details on the business summit coming up, where people can get more information,
Yes, actually we have a golf tournament at Musaiga Club on Wednesday, and we'll have the first day of the summit on Thursday at Windsor Golf and Country Club. Our website, www.LACCAfricaSummit.com. You can come and register. You could also, you can register, but the Secretariat is opening at the Windsor Golf and Country Club from tomorrow morning, the 22nd. So any more information on the website, or you can come to Windsor Hotel. The Secretariat is open up already.